So we're on to the Epstein stuff now. Okay, so the Epstein release happened. Very disappointing. Spoiler alert. A lot of people angry on social media about this. Let's get into it. But this is Bondi, the Attorney General, talking to Jesse Waters about the upcoming release of the files.
A lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
So that was the day before yesterday. You're going to get names. You're going to get flight logs. You're going to get, the so-called client list. The House judicial Twitter account tweeted out, they're like, here's the Epstein files. And it was a link. It was like a tiny URL link. And when you clicked on it, you got Rickrolled. It took you to the Rick Astley video. They have since deleted that tweet, as you can see here. I saw the tweet yesterday. This is absolutely a real thing. So they do the Rickroll thing, and it might have been okay as a funny joke if it was in conjunction with the files really being released to the public and people getting what they want, which is we want to. Even the client list, that's mostly been out there. The flight logs, I've seen lists of names. I don't know how accurate they are, but that shit's been out there. But really, what everybody wants to know, I assume, everybody being me, what I want to know is what's the Mossad connection? What is the Israel connection? It was fucking Israel. We all know it was Israel. Just admit it. Right? That's what we want. That's not what we got. What we got was this weird song and pony show with these influencers coming out with binders and that. We'll get into that here. But anyway, so there was a Rickroll. People were so mad they've deleted the tweet, but it did happen. I saw it. There's even articles about it. House Judiciary Committee slammed over X meme prank on Epstein files. Cernovich was one of the influencers, social media influencers, basically X influencers, were given these binders with the Epstein files and then they had this photo op and everybody's like, what the fuck's going on? Cernovich was one of them. He says, not one person calling me out DM'd me asking what was up. Why ask when you can try to surf off my name? As soon as we got our phones back, I was explaining the situation back channel. Tim Pool, Viva Frey, many can confirm this. This is under embargo until 3 p.m. We got a binder of stuff, but it's mostly a Rolodex. The next release is supposed to be the big one. Okay. So this is a huge nothing burger, but don't worry, the real one is still coming. Why put on such a show if it's a nothing burger? It's very poorly thought out and very poorly received release of the Epstein files. Adam Green posted this old clip of Cernovich. He says, I can see why Cernovich would be invited for this release.
So what I don't like is people who are biased, and we all have them. I don't like that I hear people immediately go to the Clintons or Mossad, because that's just not sophisticated, first of all, and it's vaguely anti-Semitic. Mossad. Well, why? If Epstein were with Mossad, he'd be with the FBI too, right? You really think if Jeffrey Epstein was working for Mossad, that our own FBI wouldn't have intercepts of those conversations, right?
No.
So why just jump? Oh, Mossad. Why just jump there?
I think the FBI and every administration over the last fucking 20 years has covered this up so that people don't get angry at our greatest ally. That's what I think.
Why not Civilians Activities Group? Why not? Maybe there's a department in the State Department that monitors this stuff, right? So why go there? And also Clinton, that's just a cliche. They don't have any power. The Prince Andrew, though, royalty, they have power. So
Prince Andrew has more power than the Clintons. First, that's mental, first of all. Maybe I'm wrong. That seems mental to me, especially if we're talking about back when like Hillary was running for president. The reason they were talking about Clinton, by the way, is because didn't Clinton go to Epstein Island like 26 times or some insane shit like that? Either Clinton was like in on it to some degree, Bill Clinton, or he just really liked kids, and neither of those are particularly good. So you have every right to detest and hate the Clintons.
it could be the FBI and other element, not the FBI qua FBI, but elements within it. It could be, but that's why I just really am disappointed with a lot of people who are taking hokey, hacky, campy conspiracy theories that are too well trodden, well worn. What we're dealing with is unprecedented, right? What we're dealing with the Epstein, from the initial charges in 2009 to the civil lawsuit,
or both,
criminal charges, to you name, everything is unprecedented. So if you're using your same models of thought on Epstein, you're not upgrading. And that means there's a time where people like me, I don't know. Who did it? I don't know. What happened? I don't know. I don't know. That's okay, because by developing that, well, I don't know, that means I'm open to possibilities rather than just doing some cliched fallback that isn't going to elevate my thinking, your thinking.
This was a giant blackmail scheme to frame all these people, the deep state and the Clintons and the Chi-Coms. And they're controlling us, folks, and Trump is on.
The fucking Chi-Coms with their Epstein blackmail. I can't believe that's real. I know that's like a meme with Alex Jones like ranting about the Chi-Coms and never the Jews, but it's still, to hear it in the context of Epstein, that's crazy. Savannah Hernandez also received a binder. She says, I want to correct the records. The Trump admin was originally set to announce these documents and make them available to the public. Bondi has stated that some of the information is already public and that the real smoking gun documents are being withheld by the FBI. Well, aren't we running isn't Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, don't we have our guys in charge over there now? This binder and this morning's meeting is a part of the Trump admin's push to bring independent journalists and media to speak directly to the highest members of the administration in an effort to be the most transparent admin in history.
Hey guys, this is Savannah Hernandez in front of the White House with, yes, one of those Epstein file binders. Now, I want to clear something up immediately and state that nobody from the Trump admin gave us these binders and said, you guys are going to be the ones responsible for disseminating this information. They actually told us that there's going to be a press conference at any moment now, most likely this afternoon, in which all of the information in this binder is made available to the American public. Now, Pam this morning stated to us that some of the information in here is already public, and she doesn't really feel that any of this information is a smoking gun. The big story here is Pam writing a letter to Kash Patel asking him to investigate why the FBI has stopped the release of other portions of the Epstein files. So that is what is currently going on, and I wanted to come out as a journalist as well and state that, again, we are not responsible for deciding what does or does not come out.
Yeah, no shit.
All of the information in this binder will be made public. Pam Bondi herself stated that she wants all of the Epstein files to be made public to the American people, not just to influencers or independent journalists, but that in itself has been a process. Now, one of the reasons why I have this is because the Trump admin right now is making a big push for not only transparency, but being welcoming to independent journalists who might have been looked down on, ignored, or even censored over the last 4 years. This administration is making a big push right now to allow American people to come into the Oval Office, to come into the White House and directly talk to the president, the vice president, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, RFK Jr. about what they are going to be doing for the American.
But the funny thing about it, though, is that it's all cherry-picked right-wing, like, MAGA influencers. You know what I mean? It's all people who are, like, on narrative. And, like, that doesn't really increase my trust in the admin, that you're like, let's get all of our cheerleaders in here. You know what I'm saying? And now we're giving them this special treatment that's going to make them even more beholden to us, even more on page, because they wouldn't want to lose their inside access. I like Savannah. I'm not shitting on her specifically, but I'm saying in general, it's all these like right-wing mainstream MAGA X accounts. I'm not getting invited. I have more Twitter followers than a lot of the people who did get binded. I didn't get an invite, and I don't see any like leftard people, influencers in there either. So you can say like, oh, look how transparent they're being, but it's like optically it just doesn't really come across that way.
People. So it's really interesting to see how this administration is handling the media and allowing independent people, American citizens, to come into the Oval Office and talk directly to highest members of the administration. So I wanted to give you guys my update on this. There will be a press conference. All of this will be made public.
The Quartering posts this. Look at this. So this is DC Drano. This is the most transparent administration in American history. Again, another person I've never heard of. Old Rose Swig, the most transparent administration in history. Jack Pozo, most transparent administration in history. The most transparent administration in history. Another guy I've never heard of, by the way, but I looked him up this morning. He's got like 500K Twitter followers, and he has like a podcast, a MAGA podcast, I guess. Yeah, the Quartering's been doing good. He was doing good on the Elon Ashley stuff. Now he's calling out these dudes. Quartering redemption arc. I think so, guys. I'm cautiously optimistic about our boy Jeremy. And we heard the same line from Savannah in her video. The most transparent they're being fed talking points. So now my cautiousness about this whole thing is I'm getting even more cautious. This is weird. It's obvious what's going on. Laura Loomer says there are no Epstein files. The binders are props. Every single one of those right-wing paid influencers lied to all of you today. They engaged in deception to run cover for pedophiles. They posted selfies with prop binders. Nick Fuentes roasts Laura Loomer for not being invited to the summit.
People are still making excuses. It was really funny to see Laura Loomer freaking out. She's mad because she wasn't invited. She don't give a shit about the file. She just was mad she wasn't invited. She's like, I worked so hard for Trump, and I don't even get invited to a stupid influencer summit. I hate you. It's so funny. It's so like
pretty accurate.
It's so
to
like
be honest.
Mean Girls coded.
That's funny.
Laura Loomer's going to be walking down the hallways.
That was straight from the fucking Keith Woods leaks. Mean Girls coded, or he said something like that.
The White House is the burn book, throwing pages from the book. Everybody's choking each other and fighting. I fought for the Trump campaign, and you don't even invite me to an influencer summit. I can't believe this. Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Then you could see, if you go on her timeline, you can see how the tweets are getting like angrier. She's like totally preoccupied with it. She's just like firing off these tweets one after the other, and they're getting angrier and angrier. Then they're just in all caps.
Hey, what up, family? I'm a ding dong. It is I, your boy LP, and the clip you just watched is from my live stream show, The Daily Cope, which I do 4 to 5 times a week on Rumble, Odyssey, and my other YouTube channel. I will link all of them below if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.